Hey everyone, this is Peter from Argo. Thank you so much for your questions. I'm going to jump right into it and start answering them. But again, thanks for so much. So much of the research and so much of the kind of in-depth knowledge that people are wanting to build about the space, about our company, about where things are moving this year. Really appreciate it, and hopefully we can answer some of them for you. So the format that we've done is we've taken your questions. We're going to break them up into different categories because a lot of the questions are similar. And then I'll read, kind of one representative question for each of the categories, and then I'll answer the question. And we'll do 5 or 6 videos. We'll see how we don't want to make these too long, but we'll see how it goes. So I'll jump right into it. The first question was probably the question that we got the most is: are there any plans to list on NASDAQ? If so, when? And we've got Rami H, Sammy Bader 19, Smith 887, Ben, Marco Polo, John 23, many numbers after. All basically we're asking about the NASDAQ listing. So the thing about the NASDAQ is that obviously we want to have access to North American investors. There's lots of energy in North America, lots of understanding of cryptocurrency. There's, in general, lots of excitement about technology stocks. And the NASDAQ, we've seen from our publicly traded, compadres in the space, have done very well. That being said, we need to make sure that certain things line up and certain requirements are in place. So we haven't made any announcements about going for a NASDAQ listing yet. The OTCQB application has come through, and that's fantastic. And we're very excited about being able to access North American investors that way. And if and when there's news about NASDAQ, I will share it with you, or about any exchanges or about anything. We will share it with you first through our regulatory requirements via INS or RNS. So that's all I can say about any potential future NASDAQ listing right now. Expansions plans and mining infrastructure. So Blonity, Blonity, love your videos. We've been watching them carefully. Love the metrics you're coming up with. Love the analysis you're doing in the space. The data you're generating, really great, really healthy for this space, and really encouraging people to do their own research. Can't say enough. There's so many interesting videos out there now, but Blonity was really the first and has been kind of leading the way. He says, "Hey, Argo, great job so far. I have a few questions. In the GP1 facility, should there be some space left for additional miners, maybe 1,500? Are there any plans to bring the facilities back to 100%? So Blonity, it really depends on how we're going to optimize those machines. There's not a ton of space left for additional miners in them. We'll see over time. Sometimes a little bit of space opens up if there's a machine. If there's machines that are underperforming that we might want to switch out. But in general, there's not a ton of space left. And at the scale of that we're mining at right now, 5 or 10 or 20 megawatts, it doesn't take that many machines. So we're looking at larger scale opportunities. But those are great facilities. They're really well built. They're really well, they're easy to run. So we're happy that we're moving forward with, well, the deals is not closed yet. I should say it's still in due diligence, but those facilities are the majority of machines in those facilities are our machines, the vast majority. But we're excited about that deal potentially closing soon. Plans for ZEC mining expansion or reduction. This is a question about Zcash. Are we going to continue to mine Zcash? Is that something that we see as an opportunity? I think Zcash was really important for us in 2020. Post halving, Bitcoin margins went down. Things were more challenging in the Bitcoin mining space because there was a halving and the price didn't go through the roof. So ZEC at that time was extremely profitable. The margins were really good. I think that's the way we want to use ZEC or any other altcoins moving forward, which is kind of as a support. When there's a steep rise in difficulty for Bitcoin, or when there's a halving, or some other kind of event, we want to use altcoin mining to kind of support our Bitcoin mining. But the majority of our focus is on Bitcoin mining. The majority of the energy, for our innovation team and for our technology team is around Bitcoin mining. That's not to say we won't look for other opportunities mining with altcoins or mining altcoins. And the ZEC mining is still interesting, still profitable for us. Obviously, this week there's been a bump in the price of ZEC, and that's been helpful. Plans for Ether mining? No plans for Ether mining in the short term. We've looked at it. Too many questions. We don't have the infrastructure. If we had the infrastructure in place already, we would continue mining. Obviously, it's profitable, but we don't have any plans for mining Ethereum in the short term. Trading platform 212 issues. So this was two mentions: Tucker Health and Argonaut 3. Any ideas, any advice for accessing shares for newcomers? Hundreds of complaints about day-long delays in buying shares, especially on Trading 212. However, other platforms are instantaneous. Any reason for this? Any solution? Unfortunately, it's not an area that we can really get involved in. We're a stock. We're not really in a position to reach out to platforms and say, hey, why are you not, why can potential investors not buy or sell you? So we encourage you guys to reach out, and people who are having troubles to reach out, but it's not something that we really can do from our end. And I know that there's been some chatter about it out there on various platforms, and it's really unfortunate because obviously with the liquidity that we've seen, with the volume that we've seen in the last month, there should be no reason for anyone to have any issue buying our shares, especially in the UK. With the OTC pink sheets, that can be more of a challenge. With the upgrade to OTC QB in North America, again, there should be no issues on most platforms. Not everyone is always going to take an OTC QB, trade, but for the most part, you shouldn't have any issues with either OTC QB or obviously on the LSE. All right, dividends. We always get questions about dividends. Terry K99 asks, when will the company consider paying dividends to shareholders? So it's something that I've said since I've taken over CEO, when the time is right. So we'll see how 2021 proceeds. If there's an opportunity, to pay dividends, we'll look at it. But our focus really now is on operational growth, on telling the Argo story and connecting to new investors. And the dividend decision would be something that would take place in the second half of this year, second half of 2021. At Yoda Ajeda Master asks, if you guys get the share price above... I remember this question. If you guys get the share price above £5, will Peter G. Wall be okay with me having his face tattooed on my back with a big love heart? Absolutely. Yes, Yoda, a Jedi Master, I will be okay with that. It's a little bit scary to think, but we'll see. We'll see where we're going. And then he asks, I'm assuming it's a he, get it to £10, I will let you pick where I can go. I will not be answering that question or engaging in that choice in any way. Exercise of shares. At Brian Neuronaha 5. Would it be possible for Peter G. Wall and the board to orchestrate their exercise of warrants, as there have been 3 announcements in the last 8 days, each one dropping the share price in all 3 markets? One big hit would be a better option, and all three could recover once and for all. Yeah, so you've seen a lot of people exercising their warrants. That's something that's a little bit outside of our control. Obviously, we have the board has to give approval, but we've tried to be flexible because we've had many of our early shareholders been sitting on the sidelines for a long time, and they've wanted to come back in and exercise. So that's something that we've allowed. We will try to be a little more strategic moving forward about how those are introduced, to the market. But it's good feedback, and hopefully we can, be a little more strategic, like I said, moving forward. Expansion plans and mining infrastructure. Nowhere Man 48 says, as new mining machines seem to be in short supply until 2022, can you share your expansion plans for the next 12 months? Many thanks. Yeah, machines are definitely in short supply. That being said, we've got good partnerships. We've got some opportunities that we see that we're investigating in the near future, in the midterm, in the long term. So our expansion growth, our plans for 2021 are the same as 2020 in the sense that we're looking for smart growth opportunities. We want to grow in a realistic, opportunistic way. What we're not going to do is announce a massive purchase of 100,000 machines, in the next month. That is maybe realistic, maybe not realistic. That we have to go and build a 500 megawatt facility to fill out. I think we're looking for, again, smart growth opportunities, and that's what we did in 2020. It's worked very well to our advantage, and that's what we're going to do in 2021. Obviously, the market's changed because we're in this bull run that has started. And so, during bull runs, you have to be a little bit more aggressive, and you have to do bigger deals. And there will be bigger deals that will be, presented to us and coming along, and we'll take a good hard look at them. But the mantra for 2020 was smart growth, and the mantra for 2021 is still smart growth. Making sure that we are, profitable, and we've learned a lot in the 3 years of mining about how to buy and when to buy, and when we should be expanding and when we should be holding. And so we're going to continue to use those learnings for the future. Okay, last question in this specific video is from Cal McDonald at CalMac4. I'm one of the many new Argo blockchain shareholders that have joined in the last few weeks, months. Is there anything Peter G. Wall would like to say to us all? Yes, there is. Thank you, Cal. Buckle up. It's we put out a tweet the other day that said it never goes up in a straight line, and it's true. It never goes straight up. There's always going to be some bumps, and it's a roller coaster, and that's the case with any new technology, with any kind of innovation. Whether it's Apple stock over the last 25 years has gone up and down. It's mostly gone up, but there's going to be some troughs, and we have to believe that those are temporary, and we're going to be moving through them. So we saw one recently. It was interesting to see how the market reacted. Bitcoin fell, our share price fell a little bit, but we certainly feel like we have lots of momentum. We're moving in the right direction. We got a great team. We got great infrastructure, and we have great shareholders. Our shareholders engage with us on a level that I'm really happy about. I think our shareholders over the last 12 months have made us better. Doing things like this, getting questions, listening to shareholders, big and small, I think makes us all kind of work together. And I'm excited about 2021. I'm excited about our new shareholders that have come on recently, and we'll see where this thing goes.